on my channel, I'm going to be doing a get ready with me, doing this whole look all the way through to my hair using all products from the Sephora Spring Beauty event. Now, if you are not familiar with this, what this is it is a sale that is going to be starting today on the 1st and running through the 11th. There are different tiers to that, but what the breakdown of it is from the 1st until the 4th, if you are Rouge Access, you have access to purchase your items at a 20% discount during this period of time. It does remain open with that same discount all the way through the 11th. However, on the 5th to the VIB status, and that is a 15% discount. And then on the 7th, it opens up to insiders at a 10% discount. Now, another bonus they did this year, if you are interested in any products from the Sephora collection, the entire time from the 1st until the 11th, there is an access for all levels that you can get 30% off all Sephora collection products. So if you are new around here, I would love if you subscribed and followed along here with my channel. And also over on my Instagram, I do reels, videos that are reviewing foundation products. I've been considering breaking out a little bit, maybe into concealers, and I used to do mascaras. I would love to hear your thoughts on that and whether that would be something that is interesting to you. However, if you have a product that you would like to see me do a mini review on, please be sure to put that down in the comments. And as I mentioned, don't forget to check out my Instagram, but we are going to jump right into this whole get ready with me. Starting off, I am going to start off with the Clarins. It is called the Instant Smooth Perfecting Touch Primer. It's a small pot, like to give you for a frame of reference. It's not super huge, but a little bit goes a long way. You can see I've kind of dug into it over time. I just take a little bit on my fingernail, put it on my fingers, and then I start in the center of my face and then work my way out. Now, I'm going to preface all of this with saying I apologize if my face and lips are very puffy right now. I just had my filler yesterday afternoon. This is the morning. So through here and around my lips and these two marks right here, and then I have my Botox on my forehead. So my Botox has not kicked in yet, but the rest of it definitely has. All right, we are going to take the Tarte CC corrector. So I like a lot of different under eye correctors. I would say this is in the top 5. I take a beauty blender with it, and then I was just say it's not getting on the sponge. I go right under my eyes with it, and then I take whatever's left up over my eyelid just to kind of help with any darkness. You can see the differences there. And then I do the same thing on the other side, going all the way around. I'm just dabbing it in. Now, if you have any other darkness that you're worried about, like actually right now, I've got that spot, a little bruise on this side of my mouth, and a little one right there. I'm sure I have some others, but those are the main ones. And then I can kind of take whatever's left down the center. So it has that peachy undertone to it. There are 2 colors now. This is light medium that I have. I will list all of these details down below and give you all of the information. Now for today's video, I am going to be using my all-time favorite. For this time of year, I have the color in 2C3 Fresco. Now I tend to mix it up. I love using a brush, but I also like the beauty blender, so I'm going to show you how I use both together. This is fairly new to me. I did a review on this when I did my Makeup Forever HD, the new foundation review, and this is just called the Makeup Forever. It's the 109 foundation brush. It is so nice. So I'm using my Estee Lauder, as I mentioned, but I will give you guys, if you want to see, I will link down below my Like to Know It page, because on my Like to Know It page, I have links and collages, I'll put one over to the side here, of everything, like every classification you can think of. So I've got a foundation one, I've got a concealer one, I've got a bronzer one. So today I am going through my holy grail first grab type of products from Sephora for the sale that if you haven't tried them out, I would suggest to try. However, these are not my only favorites. You know what I mean? Like, there are favorites in every single grouping that there is. I have used so many different products. So this is that foundation. It is so pretty. It works for every skin type. I am combination oily skin tone, and this is just, it's so pretty. And I poured too much out. That is my only downside with Estee Lauder. They do sell a pump for it, but I always forget to buy it. It is what it is. And I go around the edges of my nose. This is just, if I could only choose one foundation, that would be it. I do take the Beauty Blender afterwards and just kind of dab it just to get any excess product that might be sitting on my skin off. It gives a little bit more of an airbrush look. Something about that. So look, can you see? It definitely picks up product. Then I'm going to use two different eyeshadow bases. This one is from Laura Mercier. It's the smaller one. You can buy two different sizes. It is just, I'll put all the color names down below because there's no way I'm going to remember all of them. But this just kind of goes on and cancels out any redness, any darkness. I mean, the foundation technically does that too, but it just helps your makeup stay, your eye products. Then my all-time favorite, and this is at the end, guys. I have not finished one of these up in years. This is my all-time favorite shadow stick. Oh gosh, it really is at the end. I'm like struggling to get some out. It is the Bobbi Brown Long Wear Cream Shadow Stick in the color Taupe. But as you will see as I put this on, it is not taupe. It is a very warm tone, and I do this very messy. I just go all over my lids, and I just blend it out with just a synthetic brush. Again, if you want brush recommendations, I've got a whole one on brushes as well. It is just so pretty, such a nice base. I have blue eyes, I've got a light to medium skin tone, and something about it just works. Now, if you're more of a shadow stick person instead of this one, you can always use the Laura Mercier one in the color Vanilla. And then I also take Moonlight, which is more of a shimmery color, and I just put it right up under my brow bone, like so close. And then I take my finger and blend it out. Now, I am going to take a Q-tip and clean up any product that is on my brows, and I'll be right back. Then I take my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On in the color Demolition, I think is the name of it. It's a dark brown color. And I'm just going to go in on my waterline and line that. Same thing on the other side. Just go back and forth until it's colored in. For some reason, my eyes just do well with something like that. Everybody's different. Next up, I'm going to do a little bit of thin liner on my top line. I do love the Lancome Art Liner, but Sephora doesn't always have it, so I'm going to use my Stila Stay All Day one. This is a smaller one, and I'm just literally going to go in super close to the lash line. I'm just trying to give the illusion of making my actual lashes look thicker and fuller through doing it both. You can see the difference here to here on the eye waterline, and then also on this top part here, right really close to the lash line. I just do little dashes, kind of fill it in. So I am going to do lipstick on my lips just because I want to show you some of my favorites, but at this point with my lips being filled, I don't generally, I just use a gloss or a balm or something like that because your lips feel a little dry for the first couple days after because they're stretched out. So we've got that thicker line. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to do some bronzer. Hourglass, can you see? I need to buy another one of this. I love this. This is the Hourglass bronzer in the color Luminous Bronze Light. And I just go right under my cheekbone with almost on my cheek as well. I'm in trouble getting some of this in. So I'm going right there, and then I just take a little bit up around the hairline and then under my chin. Now, I have not powdered my whole face, but I do have that bronzer on. The next step I'm going to take, this is a little bit out of order, but it just works for me, is the Beauty Blender. It's the Bounce Cherry Pink, Cheeky Pink? Might be Cheeky Pink. cream blush. I'm going to take that sponge. I just go in, get a little bit there, and I'm going to go right out here, just in the outer part. I have a reddish undertone to my skin. And so with that, take just a little bit right up in my hairline there too. And then I flip this over and I use this to blend it in. This just gives me a good base for that rosy look because I do have redness to my skin. So with that, I need a bronzer that has more of a pink undertone or red undertone to it. So by adding this blush on top, it actually looks really nice. And yes, you can see it's very messy. We're gonna clean all of that up, don't worry. For concealer right now, I have two favorites, the Tarte Ultra Creamy Shape Tape. I do not like regular Shape Tape at all. This one is different. And the Makeup Forever HD. You know what? This has a little bit more coverage to it, and I've got a little bit of darkness from that. So I'm going to take it and just do 2 dots right here, 2 dots right here at where the darkest spot is, okay? I'm going to put a little bit right in the center, a little bit down my nose. I go around the edges and then down here, okay? If I have any spots, I put a little bit there just to help clean up that area. Using that beauty blender, but I'm using the more pointed side. I'm going to go in and just tap this back and forth, and then I'm going to take it up and clean up that blush that may have made its way a little bit too far. I'm going to go down the center of my nose, go right there in the center of my face, go around my nose, down here. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to tap back and forth. And then I'm going to use it to clean up that outer area. And then I take whatever is left on it and I go down below, kind of like in a Nike swish. It's just whatever is left. And I'm using it to clean this up. Can you see that difference right there? So now I'm flipping it, not on the side with the blush, I got a little bit right there. Okay, so now we're at this point where I'm going to do my face powder. I just went to do my face powder, realized I did not do any of my eyeshadow, but that's okay. So I'm gonna take, this palette is my favorite palette right now. It is Too Faced Born This Way, the Neutral Nudes. It is so, so, so pretty. It has so many combinations of ones that have a little bit of sheen to them, and then the larger ones tend to be the more matte ones, but it's got like neutral tones, it's got good peachy tones. So I actually kind of mix. So I'm gonna go with this color over here and this color over here. Just take a brush and I'm gonna go back and forth between the two, tap it off, and then I'm gonna go right in my crease just to give me a little bit of dimension and up into that brow bone. Same thing on the other side. I apologize if you're hearing my trash men. There, of course they come when you do this stuff, right? It's never like when you're just sitting at home with nothing going on. Then I'm going to take a flat brush and I'm going to go into this lighter tone right down here. It's kind of a peachy tone. I'm going to put that right on the inner part of my lid. Not too much, just enough to give us some lightness and some dimension there. Tap it back and forth. Then I'm going to take this tiny little one right over here. Just take a little bit of it and go in that brow bone. And you might be saying, didn't you do all of these things with the cream shadows? You can totally let it go with the cream shadows. I just like to use the cream shadows to lock in these eyeshadows. You could have just used the vanilla one and let it go. I am going to also take a more smudgy brush and I am going to go into this one over here, but I'm going to add a little bit of that one to it just for under my eyes because I don't want my under eyes to be too brown either. So I'm just taking that and drawing it in just a little bit. Okay, same thing on the other side. I also use this to kind of, do you see how I made that little line on the outside corner? And then I take that fluffy brush and use that to just blend it in. But it kind of keeps the line going straight up and out. Now back to face powder, my all-time holy grail absolute favorite face powder, the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I cannot use. I've tried so many others and they just are not for me. I'm going to take just a big fluffy brush and I'm just tapping this on. Okay. I'm not going anything crazy. I'm not going with a lot of it. I do use a puff a lot of times too, but I've been back to, oh, too much there. I had too much on the cap. All right. So then I'm going to take whatever's left and just sweep it under the eye. You can use a separate powder for this, but I feel like this powder works fine for that, for me, honestly. Then I'm going to take my Laura Mercier highlight. If you've been around for any period of time, this has been a favorite for so long. It is the Laura Mercier Baked Matte Radiant Highlight 01, the craziest name. This brush, guys, this is from Laura Mercier. It is the, oh, it doesn't have a name. Oh, wait, it does. Powder brush. It's like flat, but then it's like, oh, it's so good for a highlight. So good for so many things. And I just go right on my cheekbone, take whatever's left and go on the top of my Cupid's bow, which right now I don't need, but you know. Then my favorite blush. This is Mood Exposure from Hourglass. It is so pretty and just, it's not too much. And I just use this again. I'm doing the same thing. I'm just kind of like adding to that cream product in order to get it to stay and give me the look I want. I am going to mention real quick, if you don't want to buy separate products, I got this recently. It's from Iconic London. Oh my gosh, guys, it is so pretty. It's a highlight and a blush. Gorgeous. So, so, so pretty. Okay, we're going to move on to eyelash. Oh, wait, I didn't do my brows. It Cosmetics Brow Pencil and the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel are my go-to. I'm going to do this and I'll come back and tell you what I did. Before I brush it out, I want to show you guys. So what I do is essentially I fill in the outer part of my brow, kind of the tail. And I do the arch and I do underneath and one little line in the center. And then I take the brush and brush through that. So it makes it so there's not as much definition in the front of it, and then there's more towards the end. So now they're all brushed out and I use my Anastasia, the Clear Brow Gel. I brush them up and then I go down on the outer tail, for lack of a better term. And then I go down. I am going to shortly do my hair as well and do it kind of quickly to show you. But we're going to finish up the makeup first. I'm going to curl my lashes, and then my two favorites. These two together are amazing. The Urban Decay Subversion Lash Primer and the Gucci La Obscure Mascara. Oh my gosh, so good. So I'm going to curl my lashes and I'll come back and show you how I put this on. So I move my mirror right over here. So I take the primer, I've curled my lashes. You can use any type of lash curl you like. And I go through with a thin coat. You don't need much of this. I will be repurchasing a backup of both of these because I do not want to go without these. I used to use the Lancome Sills Booster. Something about this one just is so good. All right, so I have my thin layer of lash primer on. While that is on, I do line my lips. I use the Makeup Forever 2C. It's kind of a rosy color. And I'm not going to overline today, or try not to. But I'll show you what I've been doing. I go through, line my lips. They're still bumpy. So it's a little hard to do. Until the lip filler like settles, it feels a little bumpy. And then I actually kind of color it in. Similar concept to the shadows, how I do the multiple layers and the blush. All right, so I've got that filled in for the most part. Then I take my finger and I rub it in. So it's not a bunch of lines, okay? And now we're gonna go in and do the second mascara. Okay, now that the first primer has dried a little bit, it makes a difference if you let it dry a little bit. If you haven't tried that trick yet, give it a shot. And then I go through with the mascara and it's like super slow and I just separate and pull as I go. They don't look clumpy. They don't look spidery. And it stays all day. It's so good, guys. Then I'm going to do the other eye on this side. Same thing. This side is always my more trouble eye. I feel like we all have one side of our face that gives us more trouble with most things. But like, see how it's not even like clumping together? This mascara, guys, it is pricey, but oh my gosh, it is so worth it. Then I'm going to use, this is one of my favorite lipsticks. It is Clinique and it is Bear Pop. It's so, so, so pretty. And I go over this. Again, I'm not going to do too far. It has a light shimmer to it. I have two that I've been using as my go-to right now. This is from Fenty, and I'll have to put the color down below. It's like a gold shimmery, very, very pretty. But again, as I mentioned, my lips are a little bit swollen, a little bit protruded, and so they're a little dry, and this has been lifesaver. I recently did a whole reel on testing these colors out, the 5 I got. It's from Laura Mercier. It is a combination between a lip gloss and a balm. Oh my gosh, they feel amazing on your lips. They have a little bit of color to them. So I love this one because it has a reflective property. I think it's called Baby Doll. And oh my gosh, it makes your lips feel so, so, so nice. You love my Clarins Instant Light Lip Perfector. This has that feel, that little bit of a vanilla scent, but that smooth, creamy feel that doesn't feel glossy. So good. Next up, I am going to move on to my hair. I will say that first of all, this brush is a great brush. It's from the Dry Bar. I got it during one of the sales. It's so nice. It really doesn't tug at your hair. I have fine hair, but I have a lot of it. My all-time holy grail, I can't believe this is this good, dry shampoo. Living Proof Perfect Hair Day Advanced Clean Dry Shampoo. This is different than their traditional one. This one is newer. It came out, I would say last summer possibly. Oh my gosh, game changing. I use it every single day. I have 3 of them in my cart right now. So I am going to take my Bio Ionic 1-inch long barreled curling iron. I use it on the setting 320. You can turn it up and down here. This is the best curling iron I have used. No joke, guys. That Dyson, it's fine for blow drying my hair. I hate it for curling my hair. If you are thinking of getting that over the sale, to be honest with you, if you want to try it, now's the time, but I would not waste your money. So I'm going to go through and I will fast forward all of this. I'm going to curl my hair for you guys and show you what it looks like after I'm done with using this curling iron. My curls fell a little bit because I had to take MJ out to the bus, but now I take my brush and I go through. I start at the bottom and I work my way through to the top. Same thing on the other side. I start at the bottom, work my way through to the top, and then I shake it out. And there we go. So now I am all set for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed this Get Ready With Me using all Sephora products that are currently on sale. If you are new around here, I would love if you subscribed and followed along here on my channel. And if you want to see more foundations that I am testing out, definitely go check me out on Instagram as well. Don't forget, Sephora VIB starts on the 1st, which is today, running through the 4th, which is first access. And then it continues on through the 11th. And that is for 20% off. And then VIB starts on the 5th and runs through the 11th for 15% off. And then on the 7th, it opens up for insiders, and that is 10% off. Plus, through this entire process from the 4th through the 11th, all levels have access to Sephora collection products for 30% off. So don't forget to check them out. And if you have any questions, please let me know down below. Thank you so much, guys, for watching and sticking with me, and have a great day.